Welcome to More Patience, More Impact, More Income, the podcast for real holistic medical practitioners who want to grow their high-impact, high-income practice without selling out. And now, here's your host, Chris Axelrad.
Welcome back to More Patience, More Impact, More Income. You're listening to part 2 of the series. Let's jump back in.
So let me ask you a quick question. Does Best Buy, like if you're going to go buy a big screen TV or something, right? Is Best Buy going to like ask you for a deposit to walk in the store and look at the TV? Or are they going to charge you to go on their website and look at reviews? Or are they going to charge you to talk to a salesperson to explain what all the features of the TV are? No. If you're going to a BMW dealership, this is going to be a big purchase, right? I mean, how are they going to treat you? What are they going to do? Are they going to like make you pay like $1,000 just to like, show that you're serious? No. Even though the cars are like 75, 100 grand, they don't do that. Amazon.com doesn't make you buy a membership to shop on their site, right? I mean, now they sell you the membership after the fact, the Prime thing, but basically like you can go on Amazon and there's people who make big purchases on Amazon. And they have, what does Amazon have? What has set Amazon apart? Actually, in my opinion, what has set Amazon apart and what they really pioneered was this sort of crowdsourced review process, where like you can go on Amazon and you can evaluate products like nowhere else. I mean, they've got like graphs of like, here's the similar products and here's the prices and here's the reviews. They've got like, here's the stuff that people bought with this. I mean, it's just a data. It's like gold, right? Even before you buy, you really feel like you're making the best buying decision. And that's one of the biggest things that set them apart. And I think if you asked the CEO of Amazon, that's what he would tell you. Okay. So no, they don't charge you, right? They don't charge you to come in and like check them out. And that's why the ultimate qualifier, strangely enough, is the free consultation. I can't tell you how many people that just like say to me like, whenever you say you're just going to do a free visit up front, you're like devaluing your service. You're like going to attract all these freebie seekers. And what's funny is it's the exact opposite. It's the exact opposite. And I'm going to explain why that is. First of all, the free initial consultation takes price completely off the table. They're not coming in based on a price. Now, when they call us, they'll ask us invariably. They always ask, do we take insurance? Or most of the time they ask, do we take insurance? Answer is no, we don't. If they want their insurance, if they want to go to someone in network on their insurance, then they can go somewhere else. I'm happy to not deal with that shit. And I never will. I never have, and I never will. I always say, I will never put a multi-billion-dollar corporation who doesn't give a shit about me or my patient between myself and my patient. Just not going to do it. I will just quit before I do that, honestly. But of course, I don't have to quit. I mean, you see my calendar, and those are all cash-paying patients, and they do file their insurance later, a lot of them, and we do help give them the documents to do that. But when they call us, we won't give them a fixed price. We will give them a range. We will give them a range. We'll tell them, well, depending, it's going to be this much or this much or this much, between this and this. So they can't price shop us. They can only kind of like price range shop us, right? So again, it's kind of like the BMW, right? Like if you call a BMW dealership and you say, how much is a BMW? You're going to be like, well, which one do you want? They range anywhere from this to this. Okay. And so obviously like you're not going to get a quote over the phone, really. Although that has changed a little bit, but still, I mean, unless you're buying the same exact car that you had before, and even if you are buying the same exact car you had before and it's a newer model, you're going to want to go check it out. You're going to want to go sit in it. You're going to want to, play with the toys in there, whatever, right? And when you call the dealership, they're not going to say, hey, come on down. We've got this one and it's exactly this much. No. Why? Because, I mean, they want you to come down there. That's it. They don't want you to price shop them. I don't want to be price shopped. Qualifies these patients as more interested in the help than the price. Trust me. Someone calls you, they book an appointment, they fill out your forms, they show up. That person is fucking ready. Okay. Period. And they rarely back out as long as you do the right thing once they're there. Okay. It allows them to meet you and your staff before the price is discussed. Again, value before price. Value and price are two totally different things. Don't get them confused. Value is what they perceive. Price is the number. Totally different things, right? Because look, if I took someone who was living in, a very poor country, let's say, and, they were riding the bus to work every single day, or riding the train to work every single day. And it was just brutal for them to even get to work. And I brought with me somehow in my suitcase, or not my suitcase, but I shipped them a 2002 Chevrolet, Impala, right? Which over here, obviously, isn't that valuable in the general scheme of things, although it is still valuable to someone who just needs a fucking car, right? So that's the point. But, if it's the only damn car, right, then I could charge $40,000 for a freaking Chevy Impala that's 20 years old, as long as the damn thing works, right? Because it depends on how valuable it is to that person, right? Now, obviously, they have to have the money. My point was that I could take a car over there and give it to this person, and it's so insanely valuable to them, even though over here it has almost no value, right? So keep that in mind. They also get to see your facilities, your office. Wow, this is a nice office, and it's clean, it's organized, right? And they get to experience your vibe, the vibe that you have, the vibe that your staff has, and just the overall vibe. I know for a fact, the way we run our practice, that from the very second they first call us, because I have the most amazing, awesome receptionist who answers our phone, and she's the operations manager of the clinic, and she handles all the bookings for all the offices, and she's amazing. She actually is a partner in this business with me, and we have admin training. We actually train people's receptionists in my program. I don't mention that enough, actually. It's probably a huge value thing that I should be talking about more. But anyway, I guarantee you from the first second that people call us and they hear the way that we answer our phone and the way that they're treated on the phone, before they ever even do anything, they're already, the value and the vibe is just exponentially higher than almost everyone else they've called. Okay. It's just the fact. It's not me bragging. It's not me saying the other people aren't good either, because they probably are. They are probably good clinicians and they're good people. But when your voicemail is obviously a cell phone, and then when they call and they never actually have anybody answer the phone, or when someone does answer the phone, it sounds like they're in their car or whatever. I mean, immediately you've severely devalued yourself, and you've created another obstacle in their mind. But when they call, and most of the time someone answers the phone and the person sounds professional and it's not you, that's an important thing, actually. Then they really get the feeling wow, this is serious shit. This is a real clinic, right? It gives you the chance, the free consult also gives you a chance to qualify them. Like I said, they show up, it's a huge qualifier in and of itself. But then once they're there, you got to make sure that you can help them. I like to do this before any money is exchanged. Honestly, I think that expecting someone to pay for the first visit for you to qualify them, I think it just sets the wrong frame. And again, we see our patients that commit do anywhere from 20 to 36 visits, something like that. And we don't worry about that first visit, because the first visit is hey, whatever, that's fine. Because we spend 10, 15 minutes with them, and the process is very smooth and it's very clean. So it gives you a chance to qualify them as well. So they're qualifying you, you're qualifying them, and there's no pressure whatsoever. Creates massive goodwill. It's the goodwill is amazing. Like, I really think that by the time one of our new patients has completed their free consult, they've already received so much value that they want to say yes. They want to say yes, and they want to give us money because they've already received so much value. And just remember, like we talked about, what we do in and of itself, I'm not saying what we do isn't valuable. Valuable means that you can assign value to it. Doesn't mean it actually has value. It is valuable. So what we do is valuable, but in and of itself, it's worthless because you know why? People do it for free. People do it practically for free. I mean, there's community clinics out there that do it for $10, $15. And there are people who that's what they feel it's worth, right? And there's people who feel like it's not worth anything. So don't make the mistake of assuming that you have all this value, okay? We want to give value in advance, and this free consult does that. And it's the process, the expertise, and the acceleration that gives value to what we do. So quick caveats again. Once you do have a strong reputation, you don't have to do free initial consultations anymore. I know for a fact, okay, that at this point in my community in the Houston area, because of the reviews that we have, because of the reputation that we have, testimonials that we have, and everything else, that we don't need to do these free consults to get people in the door. We could say, no, we don't do free consults. But I would never, ever, ever stop doing them. And the reason being is that it is such a powerful frame. When you meet someone the first time in a no-pressure situation, it's such a powerful frame, not just for you, not just for me, but for them. And I mean, it's just, I love doing the free consultations. And honestly, I feel like we wouldn't be as busy as we are, even though we don't need to do them. The fact that we still offer them, probably there's a 20% bump because of the fact that there's 20% of the people that would not come if we didn't offer a free consultation. Okay. And again, that's about them. It's about the fact that they're still not sure, that they are nervous, and the free consultation really just, it's a way to say, I'm going to meet you where you are. And I'm cool with you just coming in just to have a conversation. I'm not like, I'm cool with that. Plus, there's what I'm going to tell you next, okay? So here's the next thing we're going to cover. The one thing you need to tell almost everyone who steps into your office, if you ever want to be a big time name in your community, it's very important, okay? Now here's what most people do. What most people do is hedge against being wrong. In other words, what most people do is try to avoid failure, okay? If you're living your life to avoid failure, then I got news for you, you're not living, okay? Because you're going to fail, and you're going to fail a lot. And that's one of the things I think, again, one of the things I say all the time to people in terms of what's the biggest difference between someone like me who has managed to build a pretty successful practice up to this point and someone who just continually struggles or is currently struggling. The biggest difference would be that I failed more. That's it. I failed a lot more than someone who hasn't had the success I've had. I've been willing to put my ass out there, try shit, and then fail and not take it personally and not be scared of, failing. And here's the thing about what we do as holistic medical practitioners. When we fail, people don't die. They don't die. If a neurologist fails, if a brain surgeon fails, someone could be dead or, permanently disabled, right? With the medicine that we practice, I mean, of course, now they're obviously, I'm speaking of like skilled practitioners that aren't going to put like a long needle directly into the chest, perpendicular, or that aren't going to prescribe, 200 milligrams of zinc a day or something, which would obviously be an overdose. So obviously I'm not saying like, don't be a skilled practitioner. But what I am saying is that if you do everything right and the person doesn't get better and you fail, they're not going to die. Okay. And their life will still go on. Okay. So here's what it does though. When we have this energy and this like frame of avoiding failure, when we first meet a new patient, here's what it does. It confirms their fears and it confirms their limiting beliefs. We've talked about last time, one of the things that's really important for us to understand about our prospects is their fears and their limiting beliefs. Those are two things. And there's two other things, the frustrations and the desires. But this is what, when you show up to that free consultation, nervous, scared, unsure, and not willing to take a chance, then it just confirms their fears and their limiting beliefs. And then they just go away. I mean, they really don't feel confident. And even if they say yes, these are the ones that cancel their intake. So like they say yes and you book them for their next appointment. Like in my clinic, we're so busy, we can't a lot of times do the first treatment on the same day. So we'll book them, they'll come back the next week. And again, like 90% of the people do that. Okay. So I don't worry about it. But yeah, if they leave unsure because you have this uncertainty about you, even if they said yes, even if they, book their appointment, they're probably not coming back. If they do come back, you can try to recover it, but you've got about 2 visits. And if you're not coming across as having your shit together and confident, then they're going to bail. Okay. It's just how it is. Most importantly, it sends the wrong frame, especially with holistic medicine. Why? Because holistic medicine is all about their body healing itself. Right? So here's what I do. I tell everyone, every single fucking person that comes in my office, except for a few, that I can help them. Who would be the few? The few would be, if someone with fertility issues, for instance, they came in and they said, I don't have a uterus. Well, obviously, no, I can't help you to get pregnant. I can help you with your egg quality if you want to do an IVF and then use a surrogate. But no, I'm not going to be able to help you get pregnant. Or someone came in with stage 4 bone cancer or something, God forbid. And, I'm not going to tell them I can cure them, right? But other than that, other than those kind of like similar and sort of intractable type situations, I tell everyone, yep, let's do this. I'm good. Because here's why. I'm going to be the one who believes in them when nobody else, including themselves, will. That's so important in our medicine because especially with holistic medicine, the spirit of the patient and the emotional state of the patient and the mind of the patient, we know this, has a huge impact on their ability to heal and a huge impact on their outcome. So whereas if we're thinking more in the allopathic sense, where we believe that the intervention alone, the pill or the procedure is the thing that is causing all of the changes, well then, of course it's a different frame, it's a different mindset, right? But I'm going to believe in them when nobody else will. That's because I would much rather be the one who says, you can do it and be wrong, instead of the one who says, I'm not sure you can do it, or I don't think you can do it and be right. See, I've never had a patient come back to me who I said, like, let's say someone came in and I've had patients in the past who had really severe PCOS, for instance, and they were severely overweight. And I knew it's going to be tough. In my head, in my mind, I'm like, this is going to be tough. It's going to be, it's going to take a lot of work on their part. Chances, I'm not feeling good about the chances deep down inside. But you know what? I'm not going to say that to them. Why? Because I want to give them the opportunity to heal. I want to keep that door open. They booked the appointment. They showed up. Okay. They want help. So I'm going to move forward and be like, you know what? We can do this. I'm going to help you do this. Let's do it. And then they get the chance to prove that they can do it or not. And I'm going to do everything I can in my power, give them the best information I can, give them the best treatment plan I can come up with, and set them up from my side to be successful. And then the rest is going to be, out of my control. But again, I have had so many people come to me who were told they couldn't do it, who were told that there was no other hope, that there was nothing left for them. And I was probably the only one who said, yeah, I believe you can do it. I believe we can do that. I'm good. Let's go. And they were like, what? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. This doesn't scare me at all. And it doesn't, because I'm not scared to fail. I'm not scared to fail. And even if they do half of what I say, I know for a fact if they do half of what I say, if they show up for even some treatments, they're gonna have benefit regardless. Okay. Let's talk about why big pay upfront packages are actually the last thing you want to do and what you need to do instead. Now, again, this is just my opinion. Of course, I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm not saying that it's not, ethical or whatever. Everybody's got to make up their own mind about that. But here's why I don't like packages. Number one, typically when you do a package, you're framing things with a discount. And I don't like to frame discounts. I don't like to do that. I don't like to come across as discounted. Okay. Just the way that I roll. Patients, they get used to not paying every time they come. In other words, like they'll pay you one big, like maybe $500 or whatever it is that your package is for however many sessions. And then like they're coming in and they don't ever, and they're not paying you. So it kind of sets this feeling of like, this is free, or this is not, I don't have to pay for this. Right. Also, it puts all the risk on the patient. So basically, when you get someone in your office, and especially it's a new person, and you say, hey, if you go ahead and pay me now, I'm going to be able to, I'll give you all these services and that's it, and then what you're doing is, in my opinion, and again, this is because I had to reflect on my own shit. So don't feel like I'm saying that this wasn't me at one point or that I'm exempt from what I'm about to tell you. Because it's one of these kind of like grown up things I'm about to say. But my opinion is big pay upfront packages, you're basically saying, I'm going to make you pay for the fact that I don't believe in my own ability to keep you engaged in your process. That's at a very deep level, it's a fear-based process. And I don't like to have that in my clinic. And people who have shadowed me, which if you join my program and let me coach you, you'll get to come shadow me and you'll see the vibe in my clinic. We have the best patients. Everybody's there because they want to be there. They know they're going to pay that day. They still came back and they keep fucking coming back. And it's just a beautiful thing, man. You also have unpredictable revenue when you do these big packages. You'll get these big, you'll have this one day where you collect $1,500, and then for a week it's crickets. So that whole thing I showed you of our revenue being real steady, that's why, because people are used to paying every time they come. Okay. It's actually very difficult to do packages legally. Legally speaking, you really need to have an escrow account. You need to have a separate bank account, because legally speaking, no matter how much you think and no matter how much you have a contract or whatever it is in your forms that says, the package isn't refundable or whatever, at the end of the day, if they took you to court, that package is fucking refundable. If you have not rendered the service, okay, then it's refundable. It's not going to stand up in court from a legal perspective. Okay. So what'll happen is you get all this money in your account and it's not even really your money. And then I've had people who, I remember someone I know who bought a practice, and the person they bought the practice from had sold these 20 session packages or something like that. Right. And there were people who still had 10 sessions left on their package, and they called up. And they were like, we're not going to be able to do it, so we want the money. and it was like a year, 2 years later, and she had to cough up the money. Again, I just think it's a pain in the ass. Finally, though, the real problem is that a package frames the process as finite. You say to somebody, okay, well, here's this 10-session package, and they pay for it. Now, in their mind, they're thinking, okay, when I get to the 10th session, what's going to happen next, right? And they have to re-up, and they have to make this big payment again at the end of the 10 sessions. And this is not good for a lot of reasons. Again, like when I say to somebody, I can help you, I say that with all sincerity, that I truly believe that I can help them, and also I believe that they can get better. But there's no time frame on that. There's no like, well, and we're going to do 10 sessions. Like, it's open-ended because they could get better really fast. It might take a little longer. I'm not going to be pushed into a corner and made to estimate or guesstimate how many sessions it's going to take. Now, I will tell people, I'm very honest with people. I'm like, look, some people get better really fast. Some people takes a little longer. In your case, I would expect you to start seeing changes in, within a couple of weeks, you're going to start to feel like improvements, if not sooner than that. Okay. But the whole track of their care could take 3 months, 6 months, could take 1 month, could take 2 months. I don't know. So we never frame anything as you're going to do this many sessions and it's going to be this price. Never. What you want and what they want is to simply pay you each time they come in. Actually, really, it's easier for them. It's easier for you. And honestly, like, it's just part of the ritual of the visit. Part of the ritual of the visit is them reaching in their purse, reaching in their pocket, pulling out their card or their money and paying us. And that's what we want if we're going to actually have stable, steady, reliable income, right? So here's what to do instead of packages. A, have a reasonable price that is fair to both parties. I talked about this at the beginning. Reasonable, fair, these are subjective. You have to decide what that means to you. I know what it means to me. It means that I look around my market and I see what people are charging, and I charge a little bit more because I feel like I'm worth a little bit more. I feel like the value we deliver, actually, I feel like the value we deliver is a lot more, but I like to work with a lot of people. I like to see a lot of patients. So I've experimented with different prices, and I've kind of found the sweet spot of a sort of higher end price that still we have 90% of people decide to sign up. And we make good money. Like I said, I mean, we went over 900K revenue this year. We have 3 clinics. I have 7 employees. So there's 8 people staffing the clinics, including myself. And we're having a blast. And I'm making a good living with my clinic. So to frame any discount in terms of minimum length of commitment, not total number of sessions. So if you're going to do a discount, say we're going to do this price because you just have to complete at least this many sessions. Okay, so you would just keep charging them that same price, and they keep paying every time they come. So there's not this, how many sessions have I done? How close am I to my 10th session or whatever? Whenever someone asks me that, I know that my front desk person screwed up the language when they were talking to them at the beginning. Okay. And then I'll just go talk to my front desk person. I'll say, hey, look, just make sure that you review the process and review the script and say it the right way. Okay. Don't be a hard ass if they decide to move on before their minimum sessions are complete. Like, we just tell people, hey, look, here's the price you can get because you need at least this many sessions. And if you decide that it's not for you, that's fine. Don't worry about it. We're not going to like send you a bill for the difference or some shit like that. I mean, don't do that. In fact, just don't be a hard ass in general. Like I kind of laugh, honestly, or chuckle inside when I hear these people who are like, oh, for someone to even get an appointment with me, they're going to have to put down $200 deposit or some shit. I'm like, okay. I mean, if that's cool, that's cool. If that's how you want to roll. It's definitely not how I roll. And here's the result. Again, I think the proof speaks for itself. There's 200 appointments on this schedule. Okay. I mean, it is what it is, you know? And that's because we have really good retention, we have really good referrals, and we have a really full schedule, consistently full schedule. And that's it. Okay? Simple as that. So, and actually, that's what we're going to talk about next. What are some of the keys to improving your retention and generating referrals? Okay? The cool thing about what we do, the cool thing about the way we do it, we get referrals. I constantly get referrals. I mean, at least 3 or 4 times a month. I'll get a new patient and I'll see their forms, and the name on the form is someone I haven't seen in like 10 years. So the fact that I haven't even seen this person in 10 years, they're still referring to us. That says something. I don't take that for granted. Okay. So that's what we're going to talk about next time. And again, I think the results speak for themselves, that what I teach works. Now, again, I just want to remind you that I would love the opportunity to help you grow your practice if you're serious about it, because I love to see people who really want to be big-time impactful healers and big-time impactful practitioners get the chance to do it. I know there's so many people out here who just have such a heart for this work, but they just can't get their shit together in the business side. And I'm blessed. I mean, I'll say straight up, I mean, I'm thankful and grateful every day that I'm very talented at the practitioner side, for sure. I mean, if I wasn't, we wouldn't have this kind of numbers, because people don't come if you're not getting results. Okay, so we get results. We get results. But the key is I really know how to do both. And the business side of it is where a lot of people get screwed up, and I can help streamline that. So I would love the opportunity to help you if you're serious about it. All you got to do is apply. Go fill out the application here. And, it's not an obligation. It's just you're expressing interest. And if it doesn't work out, that's fine. You don't have to pay to apply either. All right. On top of my one-on-one customized coaching, like we will literally sit down for an hour. I'll come up with a very specific action plan for you, like A, B, C, D. And then I have training, video training, and other materials to support, so that way, as you're going through your action plan, you have the step-by-step. You have the instructions, the walkthroughs. And if you need anything, you just reach out to me and ask for help, and I will help you, period. That's how I roll, okay? And that's one of the reasons why I'm closing enrollment for a few months after December 31st, because I want to make sure I can take care of everybody. We've had, I think, 12 people join this month, okay? 12 people have joined this month. And I'm going to make sure that every single one of them gets the best coaching and has the best chance to get the results that they want. Absolutely, okay? But I also need, like I said, I need to focus on building out my 5-element functional medicine program. So I don't want to spread myself too thin. So that's the key. So my proven emails, my proven in-office scripts, you're going to get all of that. My proven landing page templates, my proven Google AdWords templates, my proven Facebook ad templates, all of this, right? My proven booking page template, all that. I'm going to give it to you. And I'm going to teach you how to keep growing to whatever level you want without burnout. I have 3 offices now. I'm looking at opening a 4th office. I'm going to sign the lease on Monday. And I'm not burned out. I'm having a blast. I have great staff. And we have a great time. You get a lot more done in a lot less time. I mean, that's the secret to how I do all this stuff. I'm efficient, and I can teach you how to be efficient like that. I'll teach you how to hire the right people to help you, because I've hired a lot of good people, but I've also screwed it up a lot. And I've learned a lot of lessons in 15 years in practice. And I'll teach you how to avoid the mistakes that I made, and also how to maximize your hiring process so that you really do talk to and hire the best people possible, and how to train them and everything. It's all in there. It's all in there. You get a whole training for your front desk people as part of this program. You're going to expand. If you want to expand to multiple locations, you can do that. I've done it. I can tell you how to do it. I can help you do it. I'll teach you how to build powerful referral partnerships with doctors. Like, again, I've done that. And it's one of the reasons why we've been so successful. And you get to do all this while having a blast and focusing on the best part, like helping lots of people. That's why I went to school. I hope that's why you went to school. You know, especially with holistic medicine. I mean, no offense, but if someone comes into this field to get rich, you went into the wrong fucking field. You should have gone into finance or, I don't know, lawyer or, you know, I don't know, whatever. Got your MBA or been an MD. And nowadays, even going into the MD field to get rich is not, it's not a sure thing. I got into this field to help a lot of people, and I've generated the income that I've been able to generate just from doing that. It's been a side effect, but yeah, that's what we focus on. Let's get people in your office. Let's get you helping them and build your reputation to where you are the unquestioned expert and authority in your market, and your schedule is always full, stays full, and you're not doing marketing. The marketing is all automated. It's easy peasy. And you're focusing, and you are just being the doctor. Imagine that. And here's where you just, again, fill out the simple application. In fact, I'll even show you what it looks like. How about that? It's super chill. It is not a big deal, and it doesn't take that long. So this is what it looks like. Let me make sure that I'm actually showing it. Yes. So this is what it looks like. It's really easy. It takes a few minutes. You tell us how you heard about it, what you do, what's your goal. There's another page. Basically, just each of these pages has a couple of things on it. So it'll literally take you like 5 minutes. You can watch this video, which shows just more stuff. You can also see some success stories from people in the program, real actual posts from our Facebook group for just members of the program, practice growth, really just people coming into their own with their confidence, busiest week ever, busiest month to date, didn't even realize it. One schedule tweak and she had 24 patients in one day. I just talked to her like for 20 minutes and we found a simple thing that she could do with her schedule. Next thing you know, she saw 24 people in a day and it was easy. Like she said, she'd been relaxing all day. She felt like she was relaxing all day and she left 30 minutes early and she saw 24 people and she had a blast and people love her, right? So you can see all that stuff. And there's also videos on here as well. People who have come to some of my live events and have been gracious enough to give us some testimonials. So yeah, that's how it rolls. Okay. Anyway, if you're interested, just go there, fill it out, and then we'll get you set up for your first call to just talk things through, see how everything is, and make sure that we want to move forward. And if that's the case, then we can talk about, all the details. And again, this is not some like ridiculously priced thing. It's a monthly payment. It's not that. I really think for the value that you get, it's actually pretty inexpensive, honestly. But yeah, you got to be willing to step up and at least indicate your interest before we're going to talk money. Exactly what I just said, and I'm teaching you guys to do with your practice, which again has worked pretty damn well if you look at this calendar right here. All right, guys. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this training. I hope it was as much fun for you listening as it was for me to share it with you. And again, 2 more days, man. We're shutting down new enrollments in War Room after the 31st. And I'm dead fucking serious about it. If that doesn't prove that I'm not, this is not about the money, honestly. For me, this is about having this, obviously there is some passive income in it for me, but the main thing is that, for me, it's about really helping people, getting the chance to help people grow. So, you'll find out. You'll be surprised, man. You'll be surprised if you apply. And then once we kind of go over the pricing with you, you're going to be really surprised, actually, I think. I know I have a reputation for being really expensive, But, I'm just going to say this. A lot of the people who are saying that, I know for a fact, are people who have a very serious poverty mindset. In the sense of that they're really stuck in a small thinking mindset around money. So of course, everything is going to be really expensive to them. No matter how much value that there is, as soon as they see the number, they're just going to freak out. But it's really not anywhere near what I think people think it is. So anyway, guys, peace out.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.